Meanwhile, Harley-Davidson just the latest company to drop DEI initiatives following social media outrage and pressure from longtime loyal bikers. The company saying, quote, "As a consumer brand, we will focus exclusively on growing the sport of motorcycling and retaining our loyal riding community." But the board of directors still silent on the future and fate of the company's, quote, woke CEO and chairman. Fox News contributor and Outkick.com columnist Mary Katharine Ham joins us now. Mary Katharine, great to see you this morning. This is a pretty stunning moment for Harley-Davidson, where bikers are saying this is not the brand that we've been devoted to for half a century or more. What happens here with Harley-Davidson?
Well, if you have to say to your customers, what we're going to focus on is motorcycles, okay, that seems like a bad turn. You've made a bad turn if you have to remind them of that. And I think that's what a lot of these companies do. They get so caught up. In this case, there's a German-born CEO who was the head of Puma and did a turnaround there, to his credit, who is now the head of this 120-year-old brand about America and open roads and motorcycles. And when he calls himself, in a controversial clip, I believe in 2020, the Taliban of sustainability, meaning he's going to be as extreme as possible in his environmental edicts for this company, it makes people think, like, maybe he's not so into the customer base that he's serving. Maybe he doesn't understand who he's selling motorcycles to, and maybe he's not that interested in selling motorcycles, right? I think the board should be concerned about that part, because when you start alienating the people who've built your brand, even if you're doing it for what you think is a good reason, it will not go well for you. Please see Bud Light.
Yeah. By the way, Harley-Davidson is saying, since, well, we're not doing DEI. We stopped in April. But this all goes back to a document they put out in 2022 where they said they were going to implement things like sponsored trainings and workshops focused on DEI. Nearly 1,500 employees participated in an inclusion and belonging workshop, and employees participated in a summit held by, quote, white men as full diversity partners. It is interesting, as you point out, to have somebody in charge who doesn't fundamentally seem to understand a brand that is quintessentially American. Like, this is not Europe, and this is not. By the way, unfortunately, though, DEI is kind of American, and we exported it across the world. But this is not Harley-Davidson.
Yeah, look, it may indeed be a mismatch. I think he's made some improvements, but when you start talking about those kind of workshops and that is your sort of raison d'etre for doing your job, no, the reason you're here is to sell motorcycles. And I think that a lot of these companies have gotten backlash such that finally they're sort of being bullied into being neutral, like bullied into doing your actual job. There's enough pain from enough boycotts, and enough folks have spoken out at this point for several companies that they go, hey, maybe we should just get back to the basics. And that is good for everyone. That's good for the customers, and that's good for the company. I wonder, though, if a guy who's sold himself this way and said these controversial things in the past can really let go of this philosophy and stick to the motorcycles.
It's going to need to for Harley-Davidson. All right, Mary Katharine Ham, thanks for being with us this morning.
Thanks.